Yes, you see y'all. I see you. All righty. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody is well on this Saturday morning. Okay, let's see who's in the chat. Who's with me this morning? This is a good day, a very good day. Since no one's on here, let me adjust the light again. Hmm, don't know if that's better or not, but we're all good. We're all good. Who knew? Don't like that. I think that's better. Okay, let's see. I think that's much better. Yeah, much better. Okay, that's better. Yes, much better. What does it seem? Oh, that's on the screen. I'm like, oh, I thought something was on. Okay, that's on the screen. All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. And today we're going to talk about the benefits of saving. What are the benefits of savings? And first of all, dealing with my mental health journey, I'm learning so much about myself. I'm taking it day by day. Um, and I want to share a few little tips that I've learned about me and my self care. I'm making sure that I'm mentally strong and everything. But I have this secret within me of an epiphany for myself. I've been into some diverse temptation, on my job, just in life, and some other things too. But when you realize what your calling, what your destiny is, and people are in your lives for a season, and you're in their lives for a season to help them to see some things within themselves and for you to learn and grow as well. So it's not just a take, it's a give and take, that you learn and you receive and you give. So in any relationship, if the two things are not happening, then it's not a good relationship. And so I have to share something with someone that they probably not gonna like, but I'm just taking my time to word it right so I don't say it the wrong way. But when people are hurtful to you, you sometimes you just have to step away and get yourself together, and then be able to go back to them and say, when you said or when you did this, this is how I felt. And this has happened like twice, and I'm like, okay, I'm not letting this go now. Um, I've got to address it. But anyway, I don't really see anyone on here, so I'm going to go ahead and get into it. I'm First of all, good morning and welcome to my channel. This is Adrienne, and you all call me Coach, Budget Coach, Nurse Adrian. But I am the budget and savings coach, and I really enjoy this part of my life. It is so wonderful. And on my job, I help people, figure out the money. I'm like, oh, what are we doing about the money? Is that waste? I work for the government, so it's like waste, fraud, and abuse. Like I have to keep people on task. Sometimes people do things they don't even know that they're doing it because they don't know rules or how it might affect the company, how it might affect the staff, how it might affect the patients. And so you have to kind of pull that in. So I use those spidey senses and those skills all the time, in all areas. I see someone there, but anyway, so the benefits of saving. Why would I want to talk about this? So let's recap. We've talked about the hindrances and delays in your savings, and we did a very good extensive time on that. And I think when I broke the videos up and I sent them out separately, with the 5 points, it was really well received, not only on YouTube, but very, very well on TikTok. And people were responding back saying, thank you for this, because everything that I'm talking about, I've either experienced it or in my past, or I've had family or friends. So I try to be realistic of the things that I see in the environment, the things that I've gone through. Y'all know I'm just very transparent and would let you know, like, yeah, I dropped the ball on that. Oh, I did really, really good with that. But there's always a learning component with anything. And sometimes when someone besides you or someone close to you bring something to your attention, you might can receive it a little better. Like, I'm just this person on the screen. You know me, but you don't know me. I'm in your business, but I'm not in your business like every day when you're walking around talking to your family and friends. But you remember those things like, oh, that lady's in my head. And you can acknowledge that, yeah, I might need to work on that. Yeah, I'm squandering these savings, or, I need to reprioritize some things. So that is what my main goal for this channel is to enlighten you and give you some nuggets to make you think, is this really working for me? Do I need to change? Is what she's saying even applicable to me? I already have my $1,000 in my emergency fund. She ain't telling me nothing. I got that done. That's an exciting thing because that's what we want you to be. But if you're saying, she's really stepping on my toes, I really need to look into this more. How can I make this happen? Let me look at this video one more time and take notes, and then go back to your budget and say, oh, yes, this is working, or this is not working, and how can I? That's why on YouTube we have the series that you can go back and just see the budgeting series. You can see the savings series. And I did create savings goals delayed series. And it's probably about 6 videos. No, about 7 videos. And so we have done a great job with bringing all those things back to you. So that was really good. So that series, we did that on last week. I also We're talking about financial empowerment. Hello, 2547. And but we're talking about benefits of saving. I'm just giving them a little recap before I get into it. Welcome, welcome. Invite some of your friends. So we're talking about the benefits of saving. My channel is about savings and budgeting. Okay, so that's what it's about. So we had someone in the chat that said, what are you talking about? So in the long run, you look at those videos and you go back and you see if those gems that I was dropping, is it applicable to you? So we have budget videos, we have saving videos, and we have videos on as to delayed, why your saving goals are delayed. So that's the last set of videos that I've uploaded. So if you haven't had a chance to look at those videos, they're very like they're the 1 minute. So, in about 10 minutes, you would have been able to watch the whole series. And then you could use those examples and apply them to your life. But I think what's most important about these videos, you can share them. If you're not going with that, dealing with that specific issue, with spending or saving or budgeting, if you're not dealing with that, but a friend or family, then you should forward those videos to them because you want everybody around you to be good with their savings and their spending and their budgeting, because what the end goal is to retire and have the money and the wealth that you want, so you will not have to work until you 70, 80, years old. And some people are working way past 60 years old. And my goal is the next 5 to be out. So and it's exciting to look that I'm on that trajectory. So today we're going to talk about the benefits of savings. And I want to do something different today. When we talk about the benefits of saving, I want to talk to the audience first, and I want you to put in the chat, what do you feel? And there's no right or wrong answer. What do you feel are the benefits of saving? Okay. So what would you say would be 2547? What would you say would be the benefits of saving for you and your family? What would you say would be one or two benefits? And April 16th of 2024 will be 3 years of my debt-free journey of paying off 124K in 16 months. And all the ways in which I did that, there are several videos out there about my steps in which I took to make that happen. And so I say that in preface for those that are new, that I'm not on a journey of being debt free. My journey the last 3 years is being saving and having this wonderful portfolio of savings and investments that I've been able to do that has actually freed me up. Yes. All right. So 2547, do you have any benefits of savings that you would like to share? At least one benefit of savings that would be good for you and your family. If you already have done it, or if you desire to do it, what would be the benefit? All right, so let me go ahead and get started. And anytime, feel free to chime in. Anyone that's on the call, we're talking about the benefits of saving. And I wanted to start, before I start going into my real spiel, I wanted to see what the audience in the chat, what you guys feel about the benefits of saving. For you, if you had $1,000 in the bank today, what would that benefit? Because we're still on our making sure that everyone has their emergency fund for 2024. We're going to have that emergency fund. That is step one, our emergency fund. So what is it that you feel like will be a benefit of having that $1,000? How would that impact you and your family? All right. So one of the benefits of having the savings of $1,000 is that you will no longer, the first thing, you will no longer have the anxiety or stress of worrying about if something happens in your household, an emergency, that you won't have to take out of your everyday check that's coming in, your pension, your Social Security, your job, or your part-time job, your regular job, whatever those incomes. Even some of you are retired, you don't have to worry about that if you have that emergency fund. And for those of you, you get child support or alimony, all these different ways of incomes, your side hustle money, that $1,000 is there, and that benefit is wonderful because it provides a peace of mind. And that's first and foremost, having that peace of mind. And so when we talk about the benefits of savings and having that $1,000, that peace of mind, it brings more than just, oh, I have $1,000. It gives you the opportunity to now focus on the next thing, which is your debt reduction. And when you start talking about your debt reduction, it's like, okay, I really can focus on paying off this first smallest bill that I have. And that might be, $1,000, whatever that bill is. But you don't have to worry about, once you start working on that $1,000, if something comes up, you have to stop that focus on that debt and start figuring out how you're going to pay for that emergency that comes up. So that peace of mind first is so important. And I also want to give you that when you do save your $1,000, we don't want it just in a regular checking or savings. We want it in something that's going to yield you at least 3 to 5% interest while it's sitting there, because we don't have time to waste that money. You might make $50 for that year or whatever, but that's $50 extra that you didn't have that's sitting there, as opposed to you making 0.000 something for in a regular account. So always remember that peace of mind, okay? So now that you have that peace of mind of having that emergency savings, let's go to the next level of savings that people have. Okay, so we do the emergency savings, and then what we do, we pay off all our debt, all right? And then that's with the snowball or the avalanche method. And if you go to some of my videos previously, we go into detail about how we're going to pay those debts off, in which order. If you're going to go snowball, which is the smallest, and then you start paying that off with the minimums of the others while you pay that off, and then you go to the next bill, the next bill. That's what's called snowball. To at the end, you get this big old ball, and all your debts are paid. Or you do the avalanche, which is the highest interest rate or the highest amount, however you want to do it. You want to work on that, but usually the interest rates are the ones that people try to tackle. And then so you do that, and I love to say whatever works for you and your household, that's what you pick. So then now you're at the next phase of wanting to make sure that you have your savings intact for 3 to 6 months. So how do we save for 3 to 6 months? That is a huge savings. So the next thing is, saving for that 3 to 6 months. What does that give you? That gives you total, total financial, like your household for 6 months. If you lose your job, or if your spouse loses your job, your partner, your companion, your significant other, whoever, that will be a big deal. But having another level of money. So when I was able to have the 6 months of household saving, when that realization came to me, I was like, oh my goodness, being debt free affords you the opportunity to make that happen faster than when you're paying off debt, because you have to just focus on the debt. Now that you have the debt paid off, and when we say consumer debt free, that means all your debt are paid off except your mortgage, okay? And then we'll deal with the mortgage at a later date. But the biggest part of is paying all those little debt, your credit cards, your student loans, any little title pawn, all those loans that you might have, your car, your truck payment, all those medical bills, all those payments that you have. And now when you get to that second level of savings, it's emergency savings for 3 to 6 months of emergency savings. That means whatever you're paying for your household every month times 6, where is that money? And being able to have that and put that over into emergency savings, like I said, in a high yield place or somewhere where you know that you're going to make some money off of that. And some people, they just like to do like maybe 3, and they're like, okay, I'm good enough for 3. And then they want to take that other 3 months and start working on that next level. But peace of mind is first of all. And then the second thing is, it allows you the ability to have freedom. Okay? Peace of mind is one thing, but financial freedom, being able to have paid off your debts, okay, so you can save 3 to 6 months of your finances for your household, that is like, bing, that is like awesome. The drum roll, the stars are going. You know what that means? That means I can really do whatever I need to do in my household, because I have proven to myself and my family that I have control of my spending. All right. The benefits of saving means that you have control of your spending. That's very, very good. Control of your spending. And that's a huge task. That means that you have control of your spending. And the third thing is, now that you have this money, you can see it in the bank. It allows you an honest way to be able to say, I can really visualize my life being what I've always wanted to be. You can visually see yourself purchasing your new home, or doing upgrades on your home, or buying the new car, or purchasing a better car, or buying a decent dining room set for your family, because now you have the freedom, you have the financial freedom. You can really become a visionary. Now, you've already written things down in your budget to say, you're scaling and you're planning for finances, but you you really couldn't see it because the debt was like so insurmountable and you barely had an emergency savings. So you couldn't see past this lady talking about $1,000. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. But now that you have that $1,000, for those of you that have, yay! And for those of you who are working on it, yes, you got $20. You still ahead of the game. And now you at the 3 to 6 months, you're like, man, all that spending and pulling money from here and there, I actually have some self-control. I have control of my spending. That's excellent. Now you can say, I really see myself sitting on that front porch. They might not be the favorite rocking chairs that you could afford right now, but you got a front porch. Look, because now you see yourself sitting on that front porch in that new home, looking out, watching the cars go by. Because now you have control of your spending. That is like wonderful. Peace of mind, control of your spending, and this vision that you might have wrote or you thought in your mind. It might have been something from childhood. You might have visited somewhere and you say, when I get grown, I'm going to have a house like this. I'm going to have my own room. My children are going to have their own room. Whatever that vision of what you want, your retirement goals. That's, you're like, oh, I know if I can save now, I can add to my retirement account. It frees you up for other forms of savings. Okay? It frees you up. It really frees you up. And it also gives you that flexibility to make various decisions that will affect your household beyond debt reduction. And why do you say that? And why am I saying that? Because when you can see past saving for emergency fund, debt reduction, you're past the 3 to 6 months of household savings. You're someone that is in control. You're someone that made a decision, had some action plans, put those action plans in place, and see the fruit. Because we're visual. We want to see that money in our account. We want to be able to say, I have 3 months of household savings. I have my emergency fund. And don't try to be on nobody's level. Be on your level. If you're just at the emergency fund, we're just glad that you're able to see that you need an emergency fund. If you're at your 3 to 6 months of savings, hats off to you. We're excited, but you have some other work to do as well. But we're grateful that you've done that. And if you're on your journey to pay at your debt reduction phase and you're on that last debt, be excited. Be excited for yourself and your family members because you've made it this far. With that benefit of saying, now I have flexibility. Now you can go back and look at your money and move some things around and make some changes. The flexibility is you're not worried that some credit card person is going to call you, creditor is going to call you and say, we need this money now. You're 4 months behind, you're 2 months behind, or we're going to send you to the collection agency, or someone's going to try to foreclose on your home, or someone's going to repo your car. You're at a point now that I am in control, that I have flexibility to move this money to do what we need to do for our family. And when I say move it, I don't mean moving it and doing things to take you back into spending, but move it into such a place that, okay, now we can take some of this money and put over for some of those things that we desire to do. And we're also going to be able to have the benefits of savings, because the fifth thing is our retirement. We could start adding to our retirement fund, right? So some of you know how I feel about retirement. I think that, and this might be a little different from the way most people teach, but I feel like if you're on a job and they're matching funds, you need to figure out how in earth, even, after you get your $1,000, you need to figure out how I can put something down. So at my job, the first 3% they match 100%. The next 2% they match 50%. So everybody at least should be doing a minimum of 5%. So that's lattes need to be gone. That's something that you need to figure out. Go look over my decluttering and those videos that tell you some of the things that you can do to bring some more money in your household. But it is important for your retirement. So the fifth thing is that we can start investing in our retirement, because we've done all these things to get us to this point that we want to be able to put money in our retirement. That is very important, because you don't want to be on that job every day, all day for the rest of your life, right? And now you feel good because, like, man, you go into your employee retirement system, you have your code and you've set up your account. Now you're going in there and you're pushing the buttons and saying, okay, this amount of money, before I even get it, before I get my check, I want you to take out 5%. Some people give a dollar amount, some people give a percentage, however you need to do it. But you can go up to $30,000, and that's the people that's 50 and older like me. You do the catch up. So I'm able to do $30,000, and for the last 2.5 years, I've been able to do the 30,000. So that is really important to be able to max. But remember, been consumer debt free. I've saved up the emergency, paid the debts off. Then I've saved up the years in the retirement. So I'm really, really good in my retirement, because like I said, I've been saving for a retirement, and it might be out of order for other people, but for me, that was what I did for me and my family, which is me, myself, and I. So I don't have to speak or talk to anybody about how I do my money in my household. But you do have to respect your partner, and you have these once a week meetings in your household. You talk about your budget, you talk about how you're going to spend your checks as a couple contributor. Even if you're doing 50-50, you still need to have the conversation and respect one another, to say, okay, this is where we are, this is where we want to be, and we've done our budget. Are we sticking to our budget? Why are we doing this? Why do you want to spend this? Is this going to affect us? The word why is so important, because your why should be in that budget. We're doing this so our kids will not have to live the life that we live, struggling as when we were children. Okay, so now we're in a house. We used to be in the projects. Like, the thing that I grew up in the projects, and I have, you know, I have 3 homes. Like, that is so, to me, like, I I never thought, when I became a teenager, I thought, okay, I want more. But we were in a house maybe by the time I was in 7th grade, but we were renting, but we wasn't in the projects anymore. But and that was different, But it's still no, I was ninth grade. It was, yeah, ninth grade. We was out of the project at like a 7th, but it was nice to be somewhere different, to see, that it wasn't just the projects. But people don't realize, when you're young and you live in an apartment coming from the project, it still seems like the same thing, because you don't understand that it's different, that you don't understand. But as you get older and you get in a freestanding home, whether you renting it or owning it, it feels different, because it's like, oh, this is ours. Like, we don't have to share with someone coming up the hallway, the breezeway. We're and that makes a difference in life. So being able to take that money and say, now we can be flexible, and we can go beyond savings, And those things that we written down, yes, yes, 2547, those things that we written down will be, we can use those things to make those savings goals a reality, and to be able to visually see. And sometimes you need to dream big. If you desire to have $1,000 in the bank, even if you go and get your money that you actually have for your bills, just look at that money and see, this is what $1,000 look like. You know, just what it looks like. Because most of us deal with checks or debit cards or just transferring money from things, but you never see the money. Sometimes seeing the money gives you a visualization that this is real. This $1,000 is real, and this is going to be my cushion for while I pay it off my debts, because I'm trying to be consumer debt free. So let's recap. What are the benefits of savings? So first of all, is not only is it just financial security, but it's a peace of mind. And that financial security brings that peace of mind that, okay, if something happens, I at least have my $1,000. And then the second thing is, you realize that you have control of your spending, because when you're able to save, that means that you're controlling your spending in such a way that now you're able to put that money over into your savings account, as opposed to going out spending it and not having a purpose for your money. Having a purpose. Every dime, even though I've been debt free for 3 years, come April 16th of 2024, I still, every dime is accounted for, and I'm not as strict as I was, but when I say every dime, I'm just like, oh, I need to know where that money's going. I get excited when I get a $46 check from the IRS, like I did a couple of months ago. I was like, oh, what is this? And it was just an overpayment, but I was still excited for my little $46. So having control of your spending, meaning you know what money is coming in, you know what bills you have, and then you know what you have in your savings. That is having control of your spending, having some money in the savings. That is a benefit. And then the third is, you're able to be a visionary, because not only do you have an emergency savings, you've paid off all your debts except your home. And the third thing is, now you have 3 to 6 months of emergency savings. Now you can be a visionary, because you see that your household will be good for 3 to 6 months if something happens to you or your spouse. Okay, until you can get another job, until they can get well, So that's good. You can visually see those other goals that you plan, the new home, the new car, the things in your home that you need. Maybe now you can see the vacations that you desire to take. And then the fourth thing is, you have flexibility with money now, because now you see money as your friend and not your enemy, because your check was like just going out to bills. You were just paying bills. Now you have flexibility. You have money in the account, and you can allocate where that money is going to go. You have your $1,000 emergency. You have your 3 to 6 months. And you might say, well, that's 6 months. I want to take that 6 months, and I want to change that over into maybe some money for our down payment for the home, or the start of my retirement. Now, some of you know that after you do the 3 to 6 months, you automatically need to be focusing on those finances for the retirement. And if your employer is giving you a matching, you need to be at the minimum of that. And if you're older like me, you need to be maxing out as much as possible. I have been saving for my retirement since I was in my 20s, because I went and got a financial advisor, because I was around some people that were talking finance, and I was ear hustling, and those things helped me to start putting money away. I wouldn't have had my first rental if I didn't have my things in order. I had my first rental back in 2013, and that was a house that I was like, oh, now this is rental, because then I had to get another house. I was like, oh, it's rental. And then that income was coming in, and it was like, okay, let me go ahead and pay this house off in another 2 years so I can have all my money. And so when you have those flexibilities to make decisions of moving money, But the real goal of the 3 to 6 months is to have retirement money. All right. So you have to start putting and investing into your retirement. Yes, we still can think about those other goals, but we need to make sure that we're good with our retirement. And going in there, setting it up in your account and having them take out. And every time you get a raise, instead of, saying, oh, we have extra money, go in there and set it up. So whatever that extra percentage, 2%, 3%, that money goes straight to that retirement. You don't need it. You paid off your consumer debts. You're working on some other things. You need to be able to retire and let that make some sense. And then that retirement option is the fifth thing, that you're focusing on your retirement. That extra money, the savings goes, is savings for your retirement. And so that's pretty much it. And I know you say, oh, you just flew through that. But if you've been paying attention, if you've been watching my videos, these are the basic tenets that I speak about. You just have to come up with a plan and say, oh, this is how I'm going to do it. And you go back and you review the videos over and over. You take your notes and you apply them to your household. Well, I have some things coming up where I'm going to be able to deal with people more intimately, those that want the $1,000. We're gonna do some things. March is really going to be March Madness. I have a lot coming up for you in March that you will be able to be with me on an intimate basis, and not just this way. And we're going to be talking about specific things. So if you want to catch up, so when you do get the opportunity to be a part of that, go back and look at the videos on budgeting, on savings, and why your savings are delayed. I have so many videos and I have them organized so you can go in there and you don't have to sit and watch it. You could be cleaning up, you could be driving, you could be cooking, whatever. You could be walking in your neighborhood, run in your neighborhood, you can have it in your ear. But let those videos just play and play and play and play, so you will be able to hear the videos and see what is applicable for you and your family and make the necessary changes. I am so excited for you that today that you took the time to be on this call with me and we talked about the benefits of savings. Yes, the benefits of savings for 2024. And we're still on our emergency savings of $1,000. And I would love to hear from any of you in the chat of where you are with your emergency savings, because that's the goal for 2024. That everyone that is a part of me, I think we have about 345 subscribers here on YouTube and about 3,500 on TikTok. And with that being said, I would love for everyone to have at least their $1,000 emergency fund, and then they're working on their debt reduction, either the avalanche or the snowball effect. So I hope that you have an exciting week. Don't forget, I'm focused on my mental, my emotional health, and my self-care. I made sure that I got out. I did walking with a friend yesterday. We walked. We did about 13,000 steps yesterday. I went into a shop and I spent some money. Yeah, I spent some money. And I'm going to do a whole video on that. I actually videoed the store where I made the purchases, because it was a private owned place. And so I want to share that day. And then we had lunch. And it was just a beautiful day. It was beautiful in sunny California because we had all that rain and the dryness, and it messes with your mood. But anyway, the sun was shining and I was able to get out and get some vitamin D. And it's good for you, for your mood, your skin, your emotions, your mental state, and it's just being outside. And it was just a beautiful day, and I had a little sweat going on, so I know that I had a great day. Your self-care, I did my facial. I try to tell you, I try to do my facials. I got some new body scrub, so I do my self-care with body scrub and all those layers and layers of dead skin, like getting that off, and and feeling good, and then putting your moisture and feeling all glistening and everything. So those are some self-care things that you do. I made a few small purchases of some workout stuff, because I'm going to be doing some videos, because the girl has gained some weight, and whoo, so I have to get more serious about my workout and my health goals. And so I'll be sharing that. So I was like, I need to buy some things. So if I'm gonna be videoing, they need to look, better than my little raggedy stuff that I wear around the house. So yeah, that's still part of self-care, because it's like I gotta get on my rebounder. I have a treadmill. I have the little stepper, and then the elliptical thing. So I have the equipment, and I have my Planet Fitness gym membership. So there's no excuse. But if you guys remembered, I'm going to say this and let you go. Last year, before the winter came, I walked every single day in my neighborhood, and I was doing 6 miles, 3 out and 3 in. It was 6 miles, and I loved it. And it does something to you when you can't get out, and the coldness is not the problem, but the rain. And my neighborhood, they're building still, and for the next phase. And so those trucks was coming through here with all that concrete, and the smell, and even with a mask, it was just bad. And so, I'm back on task. So my goals is to share those March Madness things with you, and those financial goals, not financial goals, fitness goals that I have for the month of March. Now let me say this to you. I met every financial goal that I set for myself for 2023. And remember, it was 50,000, and I ended up doing like 55 by December. The new goal that I have, for those of that you don't know, because I have 6 months of emergency savings and an emergency fund for like ready to touch money, and I've paid off all my debts. I really don't have money. I mean, the money is just for me to do whatever, because I do the 30K every year in my retirement. So I'm doing everything that's on there, and I don't have to worry about saving for my children's college fund or anything, because I don't have that. But I have money for traveling. So what I did was, I'm taking like 6 trips this year, but and I started paying for those last year. But what I want to tell you about, I'm saving $200 every pay period for 2026 Super Bowl. And so I have an allotment that comes out of my check, just like the same allotment that comes out my check. They go over and put for my retirement. They take this money and it goes over to Navy Federal. Now that other allotment, it stays within the government, but it comes out of my check. I don't get it. And so this $200 goes over into my Navy Federal, and then that Friday for my paycheck, I can see it, and then I pop it over into that savings account that is 4.8 4.78 or 4.83, I can't remember, but that's the interest that I get off of that. So now I have 801 and 1250, so right at like $2,000. So I'm super excited, because I started in October of last year with that for my Super Bowl. Yes, I don't even care nothing about the Super Bowl. I just want to go because that's a bucket list thing of mine, and I'm taking all these other trips, and that's I'll still be in California, so I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. So that is a goal of mine. What is your 2024 savings goal? Please let it be first your emergency fund, please. And if you're past the emergency fund, you should be doing your debt reduction, and then you should say 3 to 6 months of savings. So hopefully that you've done that. Hopefully that you've done that. And I'm excited for you, and I look forward to seeing you on next week. And think about the benefits of savings again. And look at this video once I upload it. And I will take this video and break it down and give it to you very small, so you can digest it. You have a wonderful day. Take care of your family and your friends, but most of all, take care of yourself. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. Love you. Mwah. You guys have a great week.